And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com. As always, visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. And get down to Dayton, Kentucky. Tell them to pump it up. Save yourself 15%. A great idea. If you don't have any food plans for watching the Bearcat Bowl tomorrow, get down to Galactic. Get you some tendies, some chicken dunkers, get you some fried chicken, and they will get you taken care of. Or go to the app. They will deliver it pretty much everywhere inside the 275 loop, and get that Galactic goodness while you watch the big game tomorrow in the comfort of your own home. All right, Aaron. Bearcats bounce back from a little bit of a rough first half. Not all that surprising, playing your first real minutes, knowing that you don't have Victor Locken on the floor, continuing to adjust to what that looks like without him. But complete domination from the jump in the second half. They start the second half on an 18-5 run. They finish the second half outscoring USF 50-27. It's an 84-65 win, a 19-point margin for the Bearcats. That's what Dave Simone tries to get for talking trash after taking USF and 9.5 points. So that's for you, Dave.
I was scared I saw it at 9 and I was scared. I didn't touch this one. Obviously, you can see I'm at my mom's house. We were celebrating January, February birthdays today here at my mom's, and that was not something that I wasn't really able to hear much of the telecast. Paying attention was difficult with, I think right now we have in total in the family, I'm trying to count, something like 6 under 3, I think is where we're at right now. And or 5, maybe it's just 5 with 6 on the way. But I wanted nothing to do with the over under. Even especially at halftime, I was feeling really good about not touching this one because of the spread there. And yeah, 9 would have been difficult to touch. You're on mute. I don't know what you did with your mic. Hang on.
The dogs just came in, so I was preparing for them to bark.
Yeah, hang on. I got somebody trying to come in to get a sleeping bag out of here right now because kids are trying to go to bed.
Okay.
But yeah, 9 was tough for me to touch.
To be fair, I told Dave 9.5. I probably would have taken USF as well, but that's why I don't gamble, because I would be really, really bad at it, and that's just how things go. I know Reagan did get the over, and the late surge at the end of the game pushed her over the top there. Which, when you were looking at halftime on 146 or whatever it was,
yeah,
and there was 50. Just a little, 50, almost 60, whatever. You were a long way to go.
Well, and
to hit that over.
Obviously, with Vic being out, you didn't know what team was going to show up. We didn't know if they were going to be able to rebound. Kalu gets the start. Kalu Ezikpe gets the start, and thank goodness we have him on the roster at this point. Honestly, I know it's been quite the roller coaster ride for Kalu Ezikpe this season, but he got the start tonight, and he put up some great minutes in the time he had out there. He's not the storyline tonight, as we'll get to the biggest storyline tonight. But I was afraid to touch it the same way I was afraid to touch in betting anything to do with the NBA this weekend, because all of these teams are readjusting to the trades they made, and I want nothing to do with unfamiliarity if I'm trying to bet.
Well, that was the story of the game tonight, is the unknown and what they would look like without Vic once it was public that Vic was out. I'm guessing it might be another game or two before we see him back, just from, hearing some chatter about how the ankle is doing and what kind of shape it's in right now. It could be ECU. I would probably be surprised. USF or UCF next Sunday. Maybe a little more hopeful, but it's going to be a little bit of a process to get Vic back from that ankle sprain. And then, as we know, Rob tore his patella tendon, so he is done for the year, which is heartbreaking because he's such a good dude, and he never got a chance to really. And I thought when he came back, I mean, he only played 3 or 4 games, but he was making an impact, a significant impact.
More than anything, I thought he was excited to be a Bearcat, and
he was.
We hardly knew you, right? Like,
right.
You had a cup of coffee, if you will. I mean, it
10 games, I guess, 9-10 games, and that's the thing that's and I think we've talked about this a little bit, but that's the thing that was frustrating to me with Rob was take a look at how much everybody's improved. A guy like that with as much experience playing in the Big Ten, don't you think he would have had a pretty significant improvement arc? The more comfortable he got, the more adjusted he got, and really the thing that helped him out when he came back, after his broken foot, he was playing a lot of the 2 and was defending off the ball and playing off the ball, and he looked a lot more comfortable doing it than he did trying to force the 1 when he first got the very beginning of the season.
He just never got to carve out a niche. Like,
right.
We will never know what Rob Finney could or could not have been in this offense. But
back to the game. Story of the night, easily, Odi Oguama.
I'm so happy. Like I've beat on this drum. I've beat on this drum. I want him to go up to the hoop strong and finish strong, 2 hands every time. And it felt like he did that, 3 or 4 times tonight, maybe?
Yeah.
And even when he wasn't finishing strong 2 hands, I don't know when he figured out how to baby hook, but it looked like shades of a former GA, if you will.
What? Abdul?
No, not Abdul.
Oh, Kyle. Nah, it didn't look anything like Kyle.
No, you didn't think even a little. You never thought even a little bit. Come on.
Kyle's baby hook was so goofy and like released from his arm was so going up.
They worked together. You don't think that anything of that was some stuff that they worked on together while he was here?
Maybe, but I'm saying it didn't look anything like Kyle's because Kyle's was the most unorthodox shot that is ever.
Everything existed. Kyle did was unorthodox. Everything.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Including I think pressers.
I think Odie. Well, Kyle's pressers they were a masterpiece. But 9 of 9. You don't get much better than 9 of 9.
Odi Oguama, have yourself a game. Finally, we have the Odi Oguama game. He has been here for 2 years. We have been waiting for this. And Odi Oguama finally tonight had himself a career day here at Cincinnati.
Literally, career high in points. That following up, tying his career high in points against Tulane, and then besting it by 1 bucket, getting 18 after 16 last week. Kerry Hoffman made a great note on the board. That's probably going to get Odie onto the AAC honor roll this week.
It might.
Look, you score 18 and go 9 for 9, you're going to get on the honor roll.
The only thing that he could have done better was to hit the free throw that he missed. But he also had 5 rebounds, he had 1 assist, he had 2 steals. He was doing some Victor Lockins type things in that role that obviously Victor is not able to fill currently. So he had the hands that you want. He stayed out of foul trouble, only having 2 fouls all night. I mean, what else can you ask for a guy? 2 turnovers. Turnovers have kind of been his Achilles heel this season. And I think that we wanted this to be a get-right game. And if you are going to have to do any more games without Victor Locken, tonight you clearly built confidence in one Odiogwama.
Yes. And guess what he's doing, Aaron? He's catching the ball and dunking it.
It's what I wanted. The whole I don't even want him going up with one hand. I just want two hand, finish strong, done. Get out of there.
Yeah. Again, solid from Kalu. He struggled a little bit from the floor, but 8 rebounds, only 1 turnover. He played 13 minutes. Like, that is right now for him perfect. Like,
well, and I do want to hat tip the fact that while he did not fill out the stat sheet in the ways that Odie did, 8 rebounds in 13 minutes is quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And for a team that I felt like while watching, until I looked at the stats after the game, while watching, it did not feel like they were rebounding the ball particularly well. 8 rebounds in 13 minutes is something that you can hang your hat on. And I would not be surprised at all if in the next game, if Vic can't go, that you may see more minutes for Kalu.
Potentially. I mean, it's going to be hard to take minutes away from Odie right now, but he played 30. That's got to be right up there with his career best in a Cincinnati uniform.
Do you think we see any type of rotation, though, more so next game with Kalu and Odie in the same?
I mean, they both started tonight. I was a little bit surprised at that instead of just doing the quick math and you slide JD back into the starting lineup, right. Wes clearly likes his energy off the bench and his scoring pop off the bench.
Well, tonight it paid off. It doesn't always pay off, but tonight it paid off.
Well, if you go back to the first half, Wes lit him up on the bench for like 5 minutes when
I want to talk about that because I missed it. There's 5 kids running around. We're all trying to corral these kids and different things going on here with birthdays. But I missed that, and I came back, and somebody was like, Wes just yelled at JD, and it did not look good for JD.
Well, JD had it wasn't a 3, actually. He got went sideways across the lane and just kind of like flicked the ball at the rim. That is not a good shot. Like there's a very low percentage chance for that shot to go in.
And I felt like
pulled him out.
But before you get into any more of that, I just felt like we had a lot of those tonight where we're doing these long twos. Dave had a couple long twos.
Dave always takes long twos. That's part of his game.
I understand, but I felt like
to take them.
I felt like there were more than normal tonight. Did you feel the same way watching?
No. Well, I mean, I think maybe they tried to show they can get to the rim, and guess what? It's not a team that's good at playing downhill and getting to the rim. It's not like this team is at its best offensively when they move the defense via the pass. When the ball is popping via the pass, then guess what happens? Driving lanes will open when you're making great passes, the right pass. Wes did talk about this in the postgame tonight. Sometimes it's just the 8-foot pass to move the ball. And then the next guy makes the 8-foot pass to move the ball. And now the defense is scrambling. And you get a guy in a one-on-one situation where he can attack a closeout or he can drive a gap. That's when this team can play downhill. Where they're not good playing downhill is against a set defense, high ball screen. I'm going downhill right at you in ISO, or that's not where this team excels.
Hero ball ain't it. But back to JD getting a little bit of Wes.
He got lit up. Wes lit him up. And that's the one thing I love about JD. That stuff doesn't bother it. Like, he doesn't get in his feelings.
He takes constructive criticism from what we've seen well.
And he came out to start the second half. Did you know, Aaron? How many points combined do you think JD and Odie scored to start the half when they went on that 18-5 run?
Well, I'm going to guess JD actually had none at that point. I don't know how many.
No, to start the second half, when they went on the 18-5 run to take control of the game. How many points do you think Odie and JD had out of the 18?
I don't feel like JD had any points in the first half whatsoever, but I don't know how many Odie contributed in that.
Are your ears working?
No, I'm saying I don't know how many he had prior to any of that. I don't know is my answer.
Aaron, let me try again.
I don't know.
Again. You're not hearing.
I'll guess 5 combined.
To start the second half, UC went on an 18-5 run to take control of the game.
Yeah, I heard you on that.
Well, you were talking about JD scoring in the first half.
Well, you said to start the second half. How many did
Right.
he have? So I'm
They
saying
had all 18 combined. JD had 10, Odie had 8.
I thought you said prior to that, how many do you think they had?
No, in the 18-5 run, how many points do you think JD and Odie contributed of the 18?
Oh, of the 18? I didn't know that they had all 18.
All 18. All 18. JD hit a couple threes. Odie was effective at the rim. And all of a sudden, South Florida was reeling. Like, I'm guessing the scouting report is if we can stop Dave and Landers,
sure,
we're going to win this game.
Why wouldn't that be
this game?
Why wouldn't that be your scouting report at this point in the season?
And guess what? They kind of did. Landers, he had 13. It took 14 shots to get there. He was 4 of 14 from the floor, 1 of 3 from the three-point line. He was only 4 of 7 from the free throw line, which is unlike him. But guess what? 10 rebounds, 4 assists. So his shot wasn't falling, and he said, that's fine. I'm going to do some other stuff.
I do want to say
Dave,
this.
Let me finish the point, Aaron.
Sorry.
Dave, only 10 points. 4 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. If I'd have told you coming into this game, Vic's not going to play, Dave and Landers are going to go for 23 points combined, and it's going to be on 8 of 22 shooting. How bad do you predict UC gets beat?
Again, I just stay away from betting when things are unknown.
You think they lose, right? If I tell you that between the two of them, they only get 23 points and Vic doesn't play?
So I will say that I've been quite a bit critical on Jeremiah Davenport this season, and I have no problem admitting that. But I think that this is why Coach Westmiller lets shooters shoot themselves out of slumps. Jeremiah Davenport has been streaky at best this season. But what do you do with streaky shooters? You can't just clamp them, can you?
No.
That doesn't help anything. You just hope for the next game after you've missed your first, 3-4 threes that he shot. It doesn't help anything to just clamp him. So he finishes 4 of 9 from 3. He goes 6 of 13 from the field. He ends up with 18 himself off the bench. He also ended up with
13 in the second half.
5 assists, by the way. So he is also moving the ball. He had 3 steals, no turnovers. I'm sorry, 1 turnover.
The craziest stat? All 5 of those assists were in the first half when he's 1 of 7 from the floor, 1 of 5 from 3. West chews him out on the bench, like rips him a new rear end, and he had 5 assists in the first half. Like,
I will one-up you on the craziest stat of the game. Craziest
Odie
stat.
Iguama went 9 for 9.
There is that, and I don't know. I truly don't know if that's crazier or Hensley seeing 11 minutes. He is back. His first game in 10 games now?
9 or 10 games.
9 or 10.
But that with Vic out, it's not.
I'm just saying, who had that on their bingo board? I didn't.
If you would have told me that Vic was out, the answer was Hensley's going to have to get minutes, or you're going to put Sage in.
And he responded.
While you're trying to get him a medical red shirt, which he wouldn't get.
He responded with 4 points, all from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, an assist, a block.
Came from behind to just smack the shit out of one from Tyler Harris.
His block was fantastic. It really was.
Yeah.
And I don't know how even after that I feel like South Florida got a second chance and they still couldn't get it back up. We also saw good minutes from Skillings, good minutes from Reed in the limited time he was in.
2 big corner threes from Dan. Like, he needs to see that go in
Mhm.
because I'm telling you, I watched him all summer. I watched him in the lead up to the season. He can shoot. I know he can shoot. I've seen it. He's got to get comfortable and confident translating it to games. The more you see him be able to hit 1 or 2 of those, the more that confidence level that he knows he can do it grows, and the more confident you are letting him have the green light to take those. So that was great to see.
Also, by the way, Mike Adams-Woods continues making threes, 2 of 6. I'll take 2 of 6 from Micah.
Yeah.
But
he's taking, as long as he's taking good ones, and he's taking good ones.
He looks, again, more confident than he did during the slump, and I feel like he's a little bit back. But this was a good team tonight, and they played good team ball. It was all around. Everyone contributed. It didn't feel like
USF's not a good team.
I understand, but
UC played like a good team. I want people to, like, I don't want people thinking you said USF is a good team.
No, we wanted to get rid of hero ball. We want to leave that behind. We wanted to see a good team win, a good UC.
I just wanted to see if they could survive without Vic.
Collaborative effort. Everyone plays well together, and I think that this is got to be what you want as you are getting ready to head back into a tough portion of your schedule again.
Well, if you look at all the guys that played, Hensley was the low man with 4. Ezikpe with 5. You had Skillings and Micah with 8. And then 10 for Dave, 13 for Landers, 18 for Odie and JD. Like, you know, if you take out the minutes at the very end, and then Josh didn't play a whole lot tonight, but the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys, the main 8 guys in the rotation.
You've got
everybody scored, everybody contributed, everybody played well. Like,
yeah,
it was good. I mean, the other thing we need to talk about is USF. The only way that they're going to really get you is if Tyler Harris goes off.
And he did not.
He's had multiple games where he's hit for 30 this year. He put 30 on Houston. If you hold Tyler Harris to 7 points, you're going to beat USF every time. He was 3 of 15 from the floor, 1 of 6 from 3. They had Micah on him early. They put Dave on him to give him a little bit more, you know, strength, physicality late in the game. They frustrated him. They forced him into tough twos. They never let him really get in a rhythm. The only 3 he hit was the one at half court, or not half court, but the deep one he hit right before the half to put him up 4. But he didn't hit another 3 all game. That's how you beat USF.
And you have one more get right game against ECU before you go into the hardest part of your remaining schedule. UCF, hosting Temple, and then at Memphis before you finish the season out in March, hosting SMU.
Yeah. Gary Clark in the house tonight. I went and I
did he have the most generic sweatshirt we've ever seen by a former
Gary? Tell me that's not the most Gary thing ever.
I feel like he just picked it up, the cheapest one that they had at the bookstore before he went into the arena. Like,
look, you could have gave Gary 12 sweatshirts to choose from, and that's the one he would have picked.
I love him
that's
so
Gary.
much.
That's
I was so happy to see him. I don't know what he even said in the interview, because again, there was chaos.
I haven't seen it,
but I just love.
I do know Kelsey afterwards. She was like, "Did you cover him?" And I'm like, "Kelsey, I've been doing this since 2006. Yeah, I covered Gary Clark. Shut up. Quit making me feel old."
Kelsey looked like she was from the Emerald City tonight.
They were giving her a hard time for the green.
It was a lot.
I warned her that
even on camera.
Yeah,
even on camera, it was a lot.
It was a lot. But she's like, he is so nice. I'm like, he's the nicest person I've ever met.
Duh.
He is literally the nicest person I've ever met. So it's great to see G. I walked over, said what's up at halftime, and he's on. I guess it's the full dap. What's up, bro? Good to see you. You know, but he's on. No, half hug.
I love you so much.
Half hug. He's on. I guess it's All-Star Weekend for the G League. So he was out on leave a little bit and used it to come back here and hang out and take in a game. it's good to see him. I usually see him at once over the summer when like him and Troy and Jake and all those dudes get back to town. So love G, love the standing ovation. You can tell that's the most humble dude ever. He's uncomfortable in that situation. If they showed the video, I don't know if they showed it on the broadcast or not.
I don't either.
But like everybody got on their feet, like, and he's like, how Troy's standing in mid-court, like.
So is Kenya, and so is
right.
So is Mel, so is
right.
Lenny. Like, yeah, I mean, he's
Gary's
not built.
Thank
He's built different.
Thank you.
He's
very
built
nice
different.
of you. That's very nice of you. Thank
Jacob,
you.
I feel like Jacob Evans is close to that too. I mean, he's also
a little bit, yeah. Like Jake will give maybe the half hand, the half arm cheer.
He's also not completely here for it. He's a little uncomfortable. He's like, I'm trying to do what people want me to do. I don't know.
Yeah. But it was awesome to see Gary. I was really happy to. It was only like 2 minutes because halftime was about over. But it was good to catch up and just chat with him for a moment. And yeah, I don't have a whole lot else. You?
No. Obviously, again, ECU on Wednesday.
Yep.
So
on the road, 7:00.
One last time.
Greenville, one last time. How exciting. Here comes a 43-41 barn burner. That's the nightcap. We'll see you tomorrow night. I don't know. Aaron, you want to take the Super Bowl off? You want to take tomorrow night off?
Let's play it by ear. I'm going to be traveling, so we'll see.
Yeah, well, we probably should. It's going to be the Bearcat Bowl. We probably should talk about it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Check the feed. We'll be here or we won't. That's the nightcap. Brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!